Alright, let's go. The objective of most bands are to either hit a target audience or gain fame and popularity.
You know, being able to portray who you really are other than words is something that I've always enjoyed about rock.
Sex-driven, drug-wanting, beer-drinking infestations on society.
I think it's really just like be yourself.
Rock and roll is arguably one of the most popular and diverse genres of music in existence. Some bands are small, some are big, some are huge, with countless subgenres ranging from dark and hardcore to more relaxed and laid back. The idea of what really makes rock music changes from person to person. So what about the future musicians, the ones that are going to set the stage for music to come? We asked them what they believe rock is really about.
At the risk of attacking a lot of people, I'm going to say that it's not about the music. And that might be what separates today's rock from really, really old rock.
I mean, rock is largely about the image. You know, they'll do their stage antics and whatever crazy things keeps the fans excited and interested in them. And I think the image is a big part. And as far as pop culture is concerned, it's pretty much all about the image. As far as rock goes, image is a really big element, and it's supposed to go hand in hand with the music itself.
I think rock music is becoming less about the actual music and more about the image and, you know, the publicity and stuff that comes with that. I think that the image and, you know, just the band itself should all come or originate from the music itself. I don't think that anything should, you know, the sound needs to be the core of what's happening and not, you know, the image and all that garbage too.
Kind of the poppier side of rock music, they really believe that they need to be the popular band, so they'll do what it takes to become popular. And on the opposite side, they just believe that more hardcore the better. So they go out of their way to become more hardcore and try to become repulsive and mean. Whatever they feel represents that image of hardcore is what they'll try to do.
I feel like people, like audience members, society members, are thinking that all rock musicians, sex-driven, drug-wanting, beer-drinking infestations on society, I feel like we're being thought of as like a downgrade on society. And then I feel that what they're feeling is true in some cases, but I feel like I'm being thought of as a negative influence, and I don't want that.
Sex and drugs.
Drugs, alcohol, sex, it's all. It used to be a lot of drugs, and it still is. A lot of drugs and alcohol. A lot of bands still just go out and they party hard and they get arrested and they, you know, do whatever they go to the next show.
Well, obviously tight pants and eyeliner.
Tight pants. Lots of people wear tight pants, but I think the best musicians aren't following those norms. Like Brian May, what a boss.
And like really hard rock, you know, like the tattoos, piercings, and all that. Probably sticking with your band is definitely a norm. I know some bands are like pretty tight.
Well, they act as a band. You know, they work together. They do all the necessary things to stay a band. You know, they may argue, but you know, our band argues all the time.
There's a lot of power stance, definitely. Spread legs for sure. They get down there. There's a lot of head banging, a lot of hair waving with the long hair, a lot of on the vocals.
Girls don't play the drums. I feel like that doesn't happen, which is kind of sad because the drums are really cool.
And nowadays, like I feel like it's mainly like guys, but I feel like there's a lot of like girl bass players nowadays. Like I feel like girls just play bass. It's weird.
The women are always either desperate or just really open about everything and kind of afraid of commitment, while the men are pretty much the same way. They're all about sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and the women are all about sex or complaining about their ex-boyfriends.
They gotta be rocker chicks. They can't wear
dresses, and they have to, they gotta be ripped up, to be mean, and they gotta be able to scream at people and stage dive and stuff. So they have to step up to the plate a little bit. They have to be, on the same level as the men. So
It might just be some specific scenes, but like the ones I am into are like, it really is like anyone can do whatever they want.
I feel like women are used more as, at least in bands, are used more as singers and kind of people to lead the band and more of an image for the band rather than musicians that help support the band. And I feel that men, they're kind of like the lead for the band. Like most men mostly make up the actual band itself to play instruments. It's kind of how I see it.
Even though it made like some people might not like it, it's still music, and music, like it's good.
It helped a lot of people. Like there were people who were like going to kill themselves before, but then they just decided to start playing music, and their life got instantly better.
The rock music gives people kind of a way to really express themselves, really get out there and tell the world how they're feeling instead of just keeping it bottled up inside.
I guess your ability to express yourself through music and being able to portray who you really are other than words.
I mean, it's an outlet for emotion. I mean, lots of rock musicians just use it as a way to express their feelings, but that also can turn to a harmful side because if it's influencing its listener to do things like murder people, do drugs, and rape, it's definitely downgrading society, I think.
Me personally, I'm not like pressured into things, but I know there are people that like, oh, so-and-so singing things about smoking pot and raping people. I'm gonna smoke pot and rape people.
I feel like a lot of people use like performances and shows as like places to do drugs.
Like if you go to a concert, it might be like really loud, and I know that some people get hearing loss at a really young age now because of like rock music.
The band Cannibal Corpse has a lot of very, very disgusting lyrics. I'll just leave it at that. Disgusting lyrics. Google some songs if you want to hear some disgusting lyrics. Yeah, really bad stuff. But yeah.
So what is it about rock music that is so appealing to teenagers?
I use music to get away from troubles. It's just such a great way. I mean, your emotions, you can express it in your music, not just lyrics.
If you can get big enough in music, you can be very, very inspirational. You can help quite a lot of people. Because if you could bring yourself to stray away from all the harmful aspects of it, you could actually send out a really, really positive message through your music.
They sing kind of about like life in general. They don't hide anything away. It's not cookie cutter pop, it's more true to what happens in every day.
a new time is coming, I feel, where a lot of bands are more focused on music, and that's really important to me.
I feel like now they're just trying to like keep rock alive, really. But because now we're being taken over by terrible things like Nicki Minaj and Lady Gaga.
I don't think there's a perfect band that doesn't make any flaws. You know, I think it's impossible.
It's clear that rock music means something different to everyone. For some, it's a way out and a way to express themselves. For others, it's a fun hobby or pastime. But whether it's a way to let out emotion, speak your mind, or a plea for change, there will always be a demand for rock and roll.
Much better.